GoCast Network.
All right, you are listening to the stimulus package right here at the GoCast
Welcome,
Network.
everybody.
You know what? We just got news. We are trying to get our numbers higher, and we're the only show on the network with 2 shows. So we are going to only move to Tuesdays from now on.
Excellent.
Which I think is better. Yeah, this is something I wanted to do. So for our listeners that are used to listening on Mondays, this will be our last Monday live podcast. That's all right. So start listening Tuesdays. It gives you, you don't have to tune in both days now, which is good.
Fuck it.
It does make a difference, though.
Yeah, and it does?
It does.
Yeah,
we were talking about that yesterday.
Splitting up the listeners?
Yeah, I was doing a podcast, and we were talking about that, and they found diminishing returns on doing multiple ones a week, and they just went to one, and it.
Yep, you get a lot more listeners that way.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, for Mondays, and hopefully we can start making it Tuesdays, Rebecca and I, for about 6 or 7 weeks now, we've been having the cast and executive producer of the Joe Schmo Show. And they're here again tonight. Why don't you introduce everybody?
Oh, me. Excellent. All right. Yes. Right here we have Nikki Mackenzie, who plays the overachieving Asian Allison on the show. And right here we have Mr. Fred Cross, who plays Stan, the interpreter for the deaf girl on the show. And it is hilarious. And if you've not been watching Joe Schmo, first of all, you're missing out on a huge, important piece of pop culture, and you're totally out of the loop because it's hilarious.
Preach on.
It is, well, it's totally true. But we last week's episode, it keeps getting crazier.
Wait, there's one more guest.
Oh, they're tired of me by
And
now.
no, I'm not tired of you at all. And of course, the executive producer of Joe Schmo, John Moore. I was going to get to you after I finished explaining this stuff.
I get it.
Now I feel like an asshole.
Listen,
God.
I didn't want to talk to you guys outside because this show gets better every single week.
First of
every
all,
week.
We're
every
eating
week.
Girl Scout cookies.
Thanks to
to
John Moore.
Thank you
bought so many this
He
year.
donates to the Girl Scouts.
You rob them, don't you?
Well, I do that too.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I buy half, steal half.
Good for you. So I'm just going to be stuffing my face with Thin Mints for the next
This
hour.
show has gotten so good. Last week's
crazy.
episode,
Oh my God.
just when I think it can't get better or scarier, and some people have never watched the show, so let me just do very quickly what it is.
Very quickly.
It is a reality-ish show where only one person is a reality star. The rest are actors. But they make this guy think he's on a reality show, and everybody else who's in the reality cast is actually an actor. And if you haven't seen it before, it's called Joe Schmo. They're trying to find the average Joe Schmo American and put him through a series of tests. And he's supposed to, win this show and see what his reaction to finding out that it was all bullshit. Did I describe it well enough?
You did. I just want to make sure everyone knows he doesn't know they're all actors. That
does not know.
Right.
So what else would you add to what I just said?
It's like it's one guy's reaction to the craziness that we put around him. We put him in such strange situations and over the top scenarios that we just want to see how he reacts, and we give him an opportunity to make choices along the way. And we want to see if he's really as good as we think he is.
Morally good.
Yeah, morally good.
Well,
and
you guys pick a guy.
Yeah, we pick a
for
guy.
that reason.
Exactly.
We're trying to find Mr. Nice Guy of America. But I've watched the show. This is the 3rd season. And in the past, it's the most emotional show is the final one where they find out because they feel so betrayed by everyone.
They can.
Right.
It's
Because
just wait.
Well,
All right.
hold on, but you have to, but to catch everyone
There's
up.
crying
And
always.
also,
at
John
the-
Moore, you has written most of it, right? Like, you're the one that made the
riddle,
storylines and everything, which are absolutely phenomenal. Like,
And
hilarious.
also, he becomes a cast member because they show the crew almost as much as they show the cast. Because the
love
crew
it.
is in there freaking out every time something goes
Oh my God,
wrong.
I know.
Which is a lot of time.
Right.
Well, and especially now, to catch everyone up, Chase Rogan, who is Joe Schmo, asked for a notebook a couple weeks ago, and
Two episodes ago,
and has been writing things in the journal. So the cameras were able to see what he's writing, and he's writing things like, "I think these people might be actors. I don't trust the producers. I don't know what's going on. Blah 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 blah." And so then there was the whole Skylar meltdown. Why don't you talk about that happened last week?
So the whole thing with Skylar's character, she came on as a sweet widow. She lost her husband in a cement pouring accident.
Of course.
Of course. Very logical. You know, that was based on a true story. Like, that really happened to a guy somewhere. It was somewhere probably down south, my people.
Where are you from, John?
I'm from Kentucky and Tennessee.
Kentucky boy.
Where in Kentucky?
In Lexington.
I love Lexington.
Kentucky.
Lexington, Kentucky.
You're from Lexington, too? Where'd you go to high school?
I went Carroll County High.
Wait a minute, you
That's
said
not
you were from
Lexington?
San Diego.
No, I'm from Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
What?
I thought you were from...
No, he moved to San
I
Diego.
went to UK.
You're a liar.
Now, Carroll County is northern Kentucky? Is
It's,
that...
yeah, on the Ohio River.
awkward.
Yeah.
It's all Cracker Barrel.
I love
country,
Lexington.
It's all Cracker Barrel.
I did a warm-up for Seabiscuit was done there. They did Seabiscuit.
I love
Yeah.
Cracker
They
Barrel.
have a
by
great
the
club
way.
there. It used to be called Comedy on Broadway.
On Broadway, that's
I
right.
think now it's Comedy off Broadway.
I think you're right. You're right.
I used to do, when I was in high school, I would go down there and do the open
Open
mic
mics?
nights.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Oh, I'd
Yeah,
love
it
to
was-
see that.
Oh, dude.
Young J-Mo just
There-
throwing out some
You want to know?
zingers.
You know what my opener was?
Please,
please.
tell me.
Please tell me.
Oh man, it was so bad.
I can't
It
wait.
was
I can't
so
wait.
bad. I would come on wearing a trench coat,
Oh my God.
and I would be very serious, and I would talk about, I'm not here to make you guys laugh, which was obvious.
Well, that's always good to start off with at a comedy club.
And it's
I
held,
had
it's
a-
held true
I
throughout
had
your
like
career.
a very serious agenda, and that was to ban all refrigerator magnets. Not all of them, just the ones that look like cookies.
All right.
And then, in a brilliant move, again, I was in high school, people. I would open my trench coat, and I would have forks and knives like stuck to my stomach as if I swallowed the refrigerator magnets that looked like cookies.
So your opening bit was very visual.
Oh man,
Would work for the blind.
Yeah.
Prop comic.
It got that was my only prop jet. Well, no, I did do a brilliant thing I called juggling bowling balls on the moon. 3 black helium balloons. And you wonder why I didn't stick with the stand-up, you know? It's not
You
a
were in
mystery.
high school.
I was in high school.
Come on.
You know what's funny though? I'm pretty sure that back then was Howie Mandel's act.
Oh, it may have been. It may have been.
Except he had a glove on his head. That's the only difference. I think someone's wanting to talk to you guys.
Oh, well, let him talk to us.
All right, why don't we take the... I can't hear it, honey, so can we
Oh,
share this?
no, I guess
Before we take the
so.
call or don't go anywhere. All right.
They're calling about that. They want to hear
Flip
that,
out?
that whole refrigerator magnet routine.
right.
I think we heard enough of that. Thanks.
There's videotape.
No, we're
All
good.
right,
We're
caller, you were on the air. Who is this?
What's up, motherfuckers? It's Chico.
Where are you, dude?
Bean.
I'm actually at home. I saw that my roomie Fred Cross was on, but I'm at home working on auditions.
Bardo, we miss you.
What up,
so
Roman? If you guys are just tuning in, he plays Chico on the show.
and he's so funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's been in here for like 3 weeks in a row. I was shocked that you weren't here tonight, buddy.
Yeah, I can't make it. Thank God I'm busy right now. It's pilot
Good.
season, so I'm busy. Yeah, also, but I want to call and say what's up to my roomie Fred and J-Mo, and I miss you guys, and Rebecca, and you. You guys
And
rock.
Nikki,
Oh,
remember?
man,
Yeah,
just
thanks
blowing
for
off.
forgetting.
Oh, Nikki's there. I haven't seen her on there. I'm not even looking at the screen.
Will you show? Oh, he's
Oh,
not
that's
looking
it.
at the screen. Yeah, she's here.
Caller, that's great. Do you have a question?
Yeah. All right, guys. I just wanted to say hi, man.
Well, I'm
I
glad
have a question
you called
for
in.
the caller.
All right, love you guys.
Caller, wait a minute, caller, wait a minute. We have a question for
What?
you. Who was
Oh,
your
what?
favorite character on the show?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Besides you.
My favorite character on the show. It's weird. For me, I just really liked kind of Alan's subtlety. You know, I like Rob Belushi. You know, he really didn't force anything. He was great, and he cracked me up. You know, there was little subtle things that he did that were just hilarious to me. So I like Rob Belushi.
All right, good answer, good answer.
Of course.
Hey, dude.
After my kudo, Fred Cross.
Goodwill.
Hey, we're moving our show to Tuesdays only. So next Tuesday, I hope you come on.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good, guys.
All right,
have a
hands
great
up.
night.
See ya.
All right,
Love
bye.
you. All right, bye.
Bye.
So back to what we're talking about, Skylar's character. So she's this really simpleton. Husband died in a cement pouring accident. She had his baby. She's looking for a new career.
Right.
Well, it turns out she wins a chat from home, and we see her mother on the Skype, and then her dead husband walks in. And she was playing everyone the whole time. Her husband never died. She was just
Which
doing
is
it
all
for
fake,
sympathy.
of course. You
Oh,
you
right.
wrote
Oh,
this.
yeah,
in-
yeah,
Right, right.
absolutely, absolutely. And it was kind of a mistake on our part because it was such a big storyline. And like, as Ralph said in the show, like it makes him thinking, okay, if she's not who she says she is,
Who else?
Right,
isn't?
right.
and you know, and Megan was so good at playing Skylar
Yeah.
that when she turned, you're like, wait a minute.
I know.
It was too
It was
much.
too much. It was a little too over
yeah,
the
you
top.
know, it's like
But you don't know what you can do at
Well,
that point.
exactly.
Talk about how that.
Wait, hold on. We have another caller, and I don't
Okay.
want to lose them in case they have a really
Yeah.
good question.
Okay.
So let's share those earphones one more time. Hello, caller. Who's there? Hello.
This is Mike Rogan.
Hello, Mike Rogan. How are you? Do you have a question for our guests?
I do.
Let's hear it.
I'm Joe Schmo's dad.
You are.
Hi.
Are you
Yes,
now?
I am.
Okay, I want. How can you prove that?
I don't know.
Where did he go to
Jake.
school?
Sagertown,
Sagertown, is it?
Pennsylvania.
Where did he go to college?
Penn State. He started at Mercy or up at Erie.
Wow, this
and
must
he
be
went
him.
to Florida.
Okay, I have one more question for you.
I'm telling you, it's me.
Well, okay, I'm starting to believe you, sir. I have one question for you. What is the name of his company?
Pure Turf.
That's
Yeah.
Wow,
Okay.
we've got
You,
his
sir,
dad.
are
Nice to
his
meet
dad.
Now
Nice
you
to
have
meet
to
you.
give him a warning that he
Gosh.
can't give anything
Yeah,
away.
you can't give anything away, sir, but we'd be happy to answer any
I am
questions.
so glad you called in.
Me
How cool.
too.
You have a wonderful son.
Yeah, we love him, Mr. Rogan.
Oh, man.
Thank
America
you.
is
We-
falling in love with this man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I have family from Western Pennsylvania. My whole family's from like right outside Butler in this place called Worthington, and I have an aunt that lives in Mars.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, that's just down the road,
Yeah.
Well,
about 30 mile.
they sell honey. You should go buy some honey if you ever want to buy honey.
Now, did you ever think your son
Oh,
would
we make
ever get
maple
involved?
syrup.
Did you think your son would ever get involved
Pardon?
in something like this?
Yeah, he's pretty outgoing. He likes an adventure. It's pretty exciting for him.
Now, you've never talked to him before.
I've never talked to Mr. Rogan before. What are you thinking when you watch the show?
It's pretty crazy watching your son on TV. It gets pretty intense there. I can tell when he's upset and his wheels are really working on him.
Now, let me ask you something. The producers of the show found out his tells. A tell, like in poker, is like you wink your eye when you have a good hand, or he has tells. He'll like start playing with his tongue into his cheek, or he starts,
Right,
shaking back and
right.
forth. Did he always do that? Could you always tell when he was lying to you, or?
He's always wobbled even when he was a little kid. Now, the tongue in the cheek, I never picked up until we started watching the show, and they said, this is one of his things here. We can tell when
Hilarious.
he's nervous.
Well, now you know when he's
Yeah,
nervous if he
pretty
starts
crazy.
doing that around you.
Well,
Yeah, I do.
you and your wife did a tremendous job with this kid.
Absolutely.
Like,
He's a really good guy.
it's
Yeah, we're pretty proud of him.
it's pretty ridiculous how good of a guy he is.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
toughest part
This
about
is-
watching the show is we all know it's a trick, and you always want to trick someone who's like, usually a prankster themselves. And that's the strange part about this show. You go out there and try to find like one of the nicest men in America who's smart and talented and funny and all those things, and then you play a big practical joke on him. And so this is the most interesting year because in past years, and I've watched every single episode of every Joe Schmo ever, your son is the only one who has made every single episode a heart attack for the producers.
Yes, he did do that.
Right. He is so smart. Like everything someone does, you see him like soak it in,
Yeah, it's
and it makes it
unbelievable.
nerve-wracking to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does make it that way. He makes me nerve-wracking. Producers make me nerve-wracking. When I'm sitting here watching it, and I know he's upset. And the first episode when he couldn't find a key.
We felt so bad for him.
Oh, we felt bad for him. That was hard to take.
We felt bad for him
But
too. As
we
the actors.
know it's done and it's over, and so it's easier to hold on, you know?
Well,
So I do have a question for you.
yes.
Every time that you lose him, and then you do something even crazier, you know, he'll start to come back, and then you do something crazier.
You're right.
and
They
lose
do.
him again. Yeah, like with Allison there and the urn. You know, I think he was kind of coming back, and then.
You know
when
what's
that
funny?
happened,
I live in Hollywood. I wouldn't have thought twice about someone shitting in an urn. Like, that wouldn't have.
That's true. Let's be honest. Hollywood.
Maybe in Pennsylvania, like, who shits in your urn, you know?
Oh,
But
man.
Well, one of the things, Mike, is that your son, you know, all this was written out ahead of time, months ahead of time, and so the only missing component was the Joe Schmo, was your son, and so when you put him in there, you know, we don't have any idea how smart the person's going to be or how observant, and so when he came in, he just really threw everything for a loop, and constantly, week to week, we were almost rewriting the show, or the writers were rewriting the show because he was too smart. You know, he's too smart. He was a really great adversary for us actors, trying to fool him so that he could win money.
You know, one of the things, like, people say, yeah, why do you keep going crazier and crazier, is distraction. Like, if we don't give him time to think about something, we can distract him with
Right.
something else and move on to that craziness. Now, the problem was giving him that notebook, because at night he would go in and write, and that would give him time to really think about
yeah,
it.
but come on. Even without the notebook, he'd be laying in bed thinking anyway. And isn't it better that it's better TV, I got to say.
It's probably better TV, but it gives him, if he doesn't have it in front of him,
Right.
if he's just in his mind, he can't go, like, he can misremember things.
Absolutely.
But he can go back and look, you know, I wrote this, you know.
Yeah.
So that makes
Yeah,
it,
hey, review it.
Yeah.
we shouldn't have given him that notebook.
Have you told them about that frog analogy that Weaver kept talking about?
The frog analogy?
Yeah.
What was that one? I don't want...
They were explaining, like, this is such a psych experiment, right?
Yeah.
So Rhett was a psych major, one of the other creators of the show, and they explain it because, like, when we're filming, we have no contact with the outside world. All we know is the reality at the Joe Schmo house, and they use the analogy that if you put a frog in a pot of boiling water, it's going to jump out, right?
Yeah.
But if you put a frog in a pot of lukewarm water and you turn it up slowly and start boiling it, it's going to die. So it's, like, interesting because this is the only reality
Sure.
Chase knows.
That's exactly right.
It's a gradual
It's a
incline.
gradual
Yeah,
shift.
yeah.
Like, we weren't crazy the first day. You know, Allison didn't flip her
Right.
shit like
Yep.
it was days and days later.
Right.
You know, so you can kind of see how, as we're throwing things at him and things are getting crazier, this is also the only reality
Yeah,
Right.
That's
he
true.
knows.
It's so true.
Well, and also, all reality shows are a little bit crazy. Like, you
Right.
expect weird things to happen. If you watch Big Brother,
Yeah.
you know, next
Yeah.
thing
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, they're making these people wear whipped cream and jump in a pool, or you know,
Yeah,
something
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true.
and also, I just want to make it...
Yeah, it's crazy.
I want to make it clear, Mr. Rogan, that despite what Nikki just said, we weren't trying to kill your son.
No, we were not. We, love
we
Chase.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
But
Sweeps week, we were working on that, but yeah.
This is
Also.
my favorite season ever, and I'm not saying
Oh.
that because you're here. I
Absolutely.
literally am. I couldn't be happier that we happen to know John,
Yeah.
and that you're bringing
As fans of
everybody
the show,
on.
it's like the
as fans of
greatest
the
thing
show,
ever.
I am having like one of the best fan freakout years ever.
Yeah, totally.
Really.
Totally.
It's just been so
That's
great because
great.
it really is. Your son and this cast are the best they've ever had.
Yes.
And the crew, obviously, because you know you guys are the ones that put this all
Yeah.
together. But
Yeah.
as someone who was a fan of season 1 and season 2, season 3 is more intense than the
phenomenal.
two of them put together.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, my parents who would never, they hate reality shows. They're watching right now, you guys, because they love watching this and then watching you tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, Pacific and Eastern,
unless
Spike
you have
TV.
satellite.
on
then,
Spike
Yes.
TV,
Just
unless
Eastern.
you have satellite at 7 o'clock.
Mountain Time.
Central 2 p.m. Yeah.
Yep,
Mountain-
Central. And
Yeah.
Central is usually 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
So,
Central is, yeah.
So Spike TV. Make sure you guys start watching this. And what's it like for you to watch this every week, sir?
Crazy. It's some of it. I laugh a lot because it is funny.
Right.
That's
And
great.
Ian's
is great.
it's all over, and I know, he makes it through it. Okay, he's okay now.
He's
Well,
alive,
he
and
gets
you
through
can't
the
give
end,
anything
yeah.
more than that.
Yeah.
But yes, he's alive, right?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
thank God.
And,
Okay, good. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's when you see some of the things that you do to him, and he handles it so very well.
You know what? Yeah, and that's
You know?
probably due to you. You
Yeah,
know?
that's all
Really.
upbringing. That's all upbringing. You should be proud.
Maybe. We are very proud of him.
I gotta say though,
uh,
he came across in that video that he sent in as he was going to be kind of the quirky, whatever guy, but he's really the smartest one you guys have ever had
Absolutely.
on, and that's the scariest part because you want. Obviously, they're all smart guys, but he's a thinker. There's a difference between being smart and being like one of those chess players.
Yeah.
He seems like a chess player. Like
Oh, yeah.
he's thinking 3 moves ahead, and as a viewer, I can see his mind doing that, and it makes me nuts every time
made
I
us
watch your
nuts,
show.
too.
Totally.
Well, I even mentioned that
no.
when Carly, when she says a thing to him, and he says, "Did you hear me?" Like once it's in his head, and we all knew this. Once it was in his head, it was there, and he
Right.
did not let it go. Like it was a component on the chessboard, and so all we could do is try not to let him see stuff and not let it get in his head.
Well, sir, I hope you
Right.
call us again.
Put that in his memory bank.
Yeah, exactly.
all there.
Yeah.
We're going to start doing
Hey,
this on
you-
Tuesday nights, so I hope you call us again.
Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What time are you going to be doing it on Tuesday?
Well, whatever time it is there now, it's same time. So 7 o'clock here, so I guess in
10.
Pennsylvania it'd be 10 o'clock.
Well, he's going to be watching the
yeah,
show.
well, I'll be watching.
Oh,
He's
no!
going to be watching the
East
show.
Coast.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're going to have to figure this whole
Now,
Tuesday
my
thing out.
daughter tweets.
I've
My
seen her
daughter
tweet.
tweets while the show's on all the time.
You know
Yeah.
what, fans? Do me a favor.
I've seen
You
her
guys
tweet.
decide if we keep stimulus package on Mondays or Tuesdays. Send a tweet right now to Stimulus Podcast, and you tell us if you'd
At
rather
Stimulus
listen
Podcast.
at Stimulus Podcast. If you'd rather listen on Mondays or Tuesdays, and we will take your advice and we'll pick the day that is best for the most fans. So do that again. It's at Stimulus Podcast. Tweet us, and if you say Mondays, we'll pick Mondays. If you say Tuesdays, we'll pick Tuesdays. I wanted to pick Tuesdays just because it's a really good lineup all the way through Tuesday. So is Monday, but I forgot it conflicts with your show. That's going to
Maybe
make
you
me...
can delay the move for 3 weeks.
I don't know if they can. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But
Yeah,
I have some.
that'd be great for you guys on Tuesday.
yeah, I know. I know. But then John can't watch live, or, on his thing and live tweet with everybody. And I don't know. Yeah, it would be
Right,
good for the show,
right.
though.
Everybody watch Twitter. We'll figure it out and we'll have the answers for you.
Sir, thank you so much for calling
Yes,
in, and
thank
you have a
you
great
so
son.
much.
And please keep in
Glad
touch
you
with
had
us.
me on.
Thank you, sir.
You take
All right.
care, Mr. Rogan.
Bye. Nice guy. Say he comes from good stock. We got to take a break. All right. So listen, everybody. We're here with the cast of Joe Schmo.
Don't go anywhere.
It airs every Tuesday night from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. East
Eastern and
Coast
Pacific.
And Pacific. 9 Central.
On
And if
Spike.
you have Dish Network, it's 7
Or
o'clock.
or DirecTV. It's,
Or DirecTV.
It's just the East Coast feed, so adjust your math accordingly.
And if you happen to DVR it, make sure you watch it within the first day or two.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
it helps the ratings. All right.
really, that makes a big difference.
We'll be right back. Bye.
Well, those around them criticize and sleep.
You're listening to the GoCast Network.
All right, it's the PFV Pro Football Podcast, and today I got two awesome players. I got TJ Hujmanzada and Corey Dillon in the house, and we're going to be talking about what's happening this season, the Dalton win percentage, Ray Maluga, Jay Gruden, and the playoff highlights. Why did the Bengals not go to the second round? We're going to be talking about who's hot, who's not, what the clips are, and what your hot picks are. That's the Bengals box right here on the GoCast Network.
Before you hit fast forward, listen to this.
It's the big hot rockin', non-stop, and less talking, boss jockin', head knocking, finger popping, yanking, cranking, hiney spanking, wham bam, thank you ma'am, 50,000 watt blowtorch of rock and roll! That is the Dick and Darren Show.
Dick and Darren downloaded 185 episodes. It's pretty good for you. You'll like it. Up in your ear hole.
On the GoCast Network.
Hey guys, this is Danny Trejo, and when I'm in Huntington Beach, I go to my favorite restaurant, the second floor. The second floor has my favorite food, and man, you have to see their colossal burgers. You need a damn machete just to cut them. And they were just voted the best fusion art restaurant. Tattoo art from some of the biggest names like Jack Rudy and Rick Walters. Every Thursday night, art shows featuring legends to local artists come in, and you can meet them in person. You can buy the art right off the walls, and all sales go right to the artist. After 10 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, well-known DJs spinning an eclectic mix of music, and you gotta check out their late night menu. Go visit them on the web, check out their great menu, upcoming art shows, and your favorite DJ. Located at 126 Main Street, downtown Huntington Beach. Second floor. I'll see you there.
Yo, this motherfucking iced tea. That's right. I'm standing here with my girl Coco. And there's one thing we like to do when we're chilling at Universal City Walk. We go listen to Frazier Smith on The Interview. That's on the GoCast Network, motherfuckers. Too bad you can't see Coco, because she's naked right now.
All right, you are listening to the Stimulus Package with Dante and Rebecca. And our guest, once again, for like the past 6-7 weeks,
Which has been the greatest thing ever.
Has been the cast and crew of the Joe Schmo Show, which is on Spike TV, 10 o'clock Pacific and Eastern, 9 Central, and 7 o'clock if you have some sort of dish on the West Coast. It's the East Coast feed. And we were just talking to Chase's dad, who is the star of the show, and Chase and his wife are watching us right now.
Isn't that amazing?
Hi, you guys. Hi.
Oh my God, how exciting.
So
he's probably got one of those voodoo dolls.
He's like,
that he's just it's like playing like a big voodoo doll. Like I keep feeling a pain in my back.
You know where he's putting it? He's putting it into your wallet and making you buy cookies for
everybody. That's probably what it is.
I feel like I told you his dad. I feel a connection to the Rogans because my family's from Western Pennsylvania. Also, I just went through an entire roll of Thin Mints.
She
by
did.
the way, I just ate
one
that
show.
Entire,
Everybody, well done.
What a fucking pig.
Well, you know.
What are you gonna do?
You know, Dante, you were you were just saying a minute before the break that you thought this was the best season.
Yeah, I do. I believe it.
Say more of that. No, but you know what's interesting is because it really is, and I thought of this. I think a couple of us thought of it this way: is that it really is a machine. You know, the show and we're all cogs in this machine that the writers, JMO especially, create. You know, and so every year it's like a better mousetrap. You know, every year it's like well, we learned this lesson from the last show, so let's do this time. And so it's just an ever-evolving machine.
It's amazing. And that's thanks to you. I mean, like, you really, the writing is so good on this season. It's so funny.
Well, and here's a good example.
I'm pretty brilliant.
Yes, you are.
You are.
Yes, you are.
And
well, what I was going to say, here's a good example. Some people might go, well, you know, it seems like they have the Asian girl and they've got the gay and the gay guy, the black guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. That is reality shows. Watch any show, and you know, like even American Idol, you know that they're going to pick a black guy and a Asian, and you know what I mean. It is that way. I was on Last Comic Standing, and I would actually say the people on my cast of the 10 that were the cast were even more quirky than you guys play it up because you're trying to make it as normal,
real, yeah,
right, real. Whereas, you know, like I felt like there were fights every day on my cast.
Dante was the overachieving Asian on his season.
I was.
Yes.
Well, comics are known for being really stable people who even keeled, get along.
Right.
There's never any issue with comics together.
Yeah, not at all.
Never.
Team players.
All team players.
All team players.
I have some Twitter questions.
Let's hear them.
Three Wise Men Productions. Let's see, at Wise Men Films. He's got like 3 questions, and we'll answer these real quick. Will there be another season? I don't know. I couldn't tell you if there were.
I want there to
everyone keeps asking
you
that.
couldn't tell?
Well,
because you don't want people.
I don't know if it's a legal
for
reason or not, but like it's so secretive when we do one of these.
Right,
Personally,
right,
I
right.
wouldn't want to tell anybody.
Would you at
Right.
least tell us so we could audition?
No, I would not. I wouldn't tell anybody. Can we expect a DVD of this season? I don't know. It's I hope so.
I do too.
I hope so.
It took a while to get the DVDs out for the last season.
I hope
Yeah.
so too.
But
Because
I can't imagine there wouldn't be.
I would love commentary on that.
I
want
want
to
I want to
Yeah.
share it with people.
Oh,
my God.
absolutely.
Chase
Absolutely.
Rogan just said, "Holla."
Holla, Chase.
Hi,
you see me
Chase.
waving at him?
Holla, buddy.
Well, see, I just want to recap on something from last week's episode, just because I'm a nerd and I want to talk about it really quick. And that
And then we'll
is,
get to the other question.
and then really quick, the moment when you're the whole Skylar, like you're seeing that her husband, like being an actor in the room when you can see Chase is like you're not sure if he's buying it, and for you guys watching it, what was happening like at that moment? Were you like, oh my God, we've definitely gone too far?
It's hard, and most of the moments, most of the actors couldn't see Chase because we can't all be looking at Chase and be like, what do you think?
Right,
now?
of
What do
course,
you think? You know,
of
right?
course.
I was in a place where I could see it because I was looking at Carly to interpret, and so I was
Right.
able to see a lot of stuff. But even then, like we're watching, you have to be careful of
You
every
can't
every
stare at
little
Chase.
glance. You can't
Right,
even looking at Chase is like. I gotta catch him in a sweep. So I have to like look around, see Chase, and then keep moving. I gotta make sure that it's as believable as possible. So we didn't know in the moment what he was doing or what he was thinking.
Right.
We just trusted that the producers were keeping a keen eye on him and making sure.
Dude,
Oh, we were watching.
Chase,
Yeah.
I know you're listening to us right now. You're smarter than the average Joe Schmo. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
watching him because it's like I said, he's like a chess player.
Yeah.
I feel like he is like creeping up on you. That's what it feels like. It feels like you guys are the cops and he's the bandit behind you
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yeah.
I think for a while, I think you and I talked about that, Fred. We thought, because Chase was so smart, that we thought, are we the schmoes? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
A reverse punk.
It
Well,
was
it's
a
this
revert-
it's
it
this
almost
air of
felt
paranoia
like-
that like you
yeah.
can't help it. I think all of us had that mentality at some point. Like maybe I'm the schmo because
Right.
yeah.
Right. And that's why they were filming you backstage and everything
Yeah.
else.
Right.
Yeah, why were those cameras on me?
Also, Chase Rogan, good kisser.
Heard that from a lot of the fellas there.
Yeah, Chase gets around.
One more question from Wiseman, then we'll move on. How far in advance are the eliminations determined? Do you base it off how the Joe is playing?
Oh,
I get that a lot.
good question.
And when we go into it, we have a plan. Like this person goes home here. Like it's all scripted out. But that does change. Like
Because Chico.
yeah, like Chico's a perfect example. He was supposed to go home
4, I think.
four, and he's still there. And Fred.
Who got screwed on that deal? Just so I know. What happened there?
Well, that's screwed, but
Yeah, it was Lavernius.
Someone got the
Someone
pooch.
got screwed. Come on.
He was.
Who?
It was Lavernius.
Lavernius.
He was
Oh.
Chase was bonding with Lavernius a little too much, and we needed that role to be Alan's. And like Lavernius's coming out storyline had kind of come full circle.
Right.
Right. So where else do you go
it was
with it?
it was played out like you don't want to do 8 more episodes of. Will he find out if he's gay or not?
Right.
but all kinds of things got. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I
a
mean,
lot
like
of
the
things.
alliance was different than what was
Yeah.
written.
And why the hell would you get rid of Lorenzo Lamas day one? Like,
Well,
what were you thinking?
I'll tell you what we were thinking. First
By
of
the
all,
way, I love that man, and he may
Yeah, I
be
do
listening
too.
right now.
I-
He was on our show like last week, right? And we saw him
Yeah.
at Valentine's Day. It was an accident. We
I know,
ran
it's
into
crazy.
him.
I think he's riding on a horse through the Southwest right now.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That's right. With his hair blowing in the wind, with
No,
shirtless.
I'll tell you why, because he was such a wild card when we first signed. Like he hadn't done really. We haven't seen him do comedy,
Right.
So we didn't really know, and we're like, he's a big Hollywood star. He's not going to want to stay in a house for all this
So
time.
you thought,
so
let's
we
just
thought,
bring him in
let's
as a
bring him
guest.
in, and he's there for the first 2 episodes, and what episode is airing tomorrow?
8.
8.
Tomorrow's 8. If you are a Lorenzo Lamas fan,
Yes.
the end of episode 8 tomorrow, you will get some really good news.
Oh, good. All right.
That's what I'm.
That's all
is
you
that
can
a
say.
tease? Is that a tease? And I'll do one more, and then Fred's got some. Jennifer what is her tweet? At Lips of an Angel 48.
Oh,
Wow.
hey.
I like the
right.
sounds
Look
of
out,
that.
weekend.
I gotta
Just-
tell you, Lips of an Angel 47 is nothing.
Nothing.
But Lips
One
of an
through
Angel
47.
That's
48.
Yeah.
That's when it gets real. Her question is to Allison. What was her reaction to the shitting in the urn? Did she think we took it too far?
No, I thought it was really freaking hilarious.
How long did it take to shit in an urn?
Oh, I'm usually a constipated person, so it just takes a while.
She really saved it up while we were.
A lot of fiber bars, yeah.
That's why I ate all those red velvet cupcakes, Jamo.
Team player.
No, we knew that was going to happen. The funniest part about that urn is that there really was something in there that smelled like shit. So the entire house reeked of poop.
Wow.
And I'm in the control
Was it
room
dog
with the
shit or
producers.
something?
I don't know what the hell it was.
Yeah, what was the poop?
I
must know.
I think it may have been dog. I'm not sure, or it could have been just completely fake, and they sprayed it.
Yeah, I think that's what.
I think that's what they do. They
spray it.
Oh yeah, they have.
fake
You can buy that.
too?
Yeah, art department, things like that. You can buy anything, and they have a.
It's not like, why would they even have that for a movie? Because you can't smell in a movie.
I have no idea, but it had to be believable.
Right.
Shit for obviously it had to smell bad for Chase to.
And what's
that
funny
it
is you
was.
weren't even around to see the reaction. You were gone
Oh well,
at that
yeah,
point.
right. I'm watching on the screen.
She's in the control room watching us. 'cause
Oh,
it was
that's
right-
hilarious.
Yeah, but
right
we
after-
can smell the poop from the control room.
No.
Yes.
Are you serious?
That was actually John Stevens, the other executive producer.
He's very farty, that man.
Yeah, he was.
That was for me the part of the show that I was almost most excited for was getting when you eventually get eliminated, you go to the control room and to be able to like drop character and be real and to get to watch like what's going on as a spectator and not necessarily because being a participant was awesome, but at the same time there's this part where like I'm tired. I need to I need to like step out and just be myself and watch what's going on.
Do they get rid of you after that? They say go home or whatever. Like you just that day you can hang out, right?
That night.
I think for an hour you kind of hang out with
until they lock down everybody in their bedrooms
Yeah.
for the night, and then you get your stuff and split. Yeah,
because I was already packed. Like I knew that was
Right.
my day to go. So you grab your stuff and you're out of there.
Yeah,
you know?
we send her walking like a hobo.
well, then let me ask you this, just so he doesn't come in and see that she's packed. Do you tell everyone? Well, any of you can go. Maybe you should all pack.
Oh yeah, they all know we don't tell them all to pack, but he's not. Like did he even ever come into your room?
He was such a gentleman. Never came into.
He didn't go to
me and
most people's
Skylar's
rooms.
room.
No.
Like at that point, we kind of knew where he was going to roam.
Yeah, he's very respectful.
Super
And you know what I
respectful.
love about him? Because I just adore her, and I would never give away her power to any other woman. He doesn't either.
Yeah.
Like everything, even when he was looking at the what's her name? Last
Chelsea.
week.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Oh, last
no,
week.
in the hot tub.
Wanda?
Wanda.
Oh, yeah.
In the hot tub. He wasn't being like, oh, look at her in the hot tub. He was never that guy.
No.
And I know guys who are married with kids who would still be that guy.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't mean it, and maybe their wife does it about other men, but he doesn't. And it's really respectful what he does.
I think it was
totally.
one of my favorite aspects at Chase is that he is such a gentleman and he's so in love with his wife. It was something that all of us were just every time he spoke about Taylor or the phone call he got for his birthday. We were just like,
I kind of feel bad for him now because once his wife sees this, she knows she can get him to do whatever she wants.
You get that, Taylor?
Yeah, you hear that, you guys? And, it's interesting because even when that girl was, like, trying to arouse people by taking off her top in that episode,
yeah.
he wouldn't even look.
No.
You know what I
No.
mean? Like, even...
Oh, yeah.
He was just
the
like-
jumping jacks. Yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
I have a quick Twitter thing if you guys want it.
Yes.
This is Jen Schmidt at Bohemian Jen.
Hey,
She's
Jen.
great.
She's great.
We
She's
love
a
you.
nice
We
Twitter
love-
fan
we
of
love
the show.
Jen.
How did the idea for Joe Schmo start, and how long from first concept to execution? That's probably a JMO question.
Yeah. The idea came like 10 years ago with Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick.
And Rhett was in here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. They've since gone on to do Zombieland, the movie, and they've got G.I. Joe coming out this summer. Is there?
Did they write it, produce
Yeah,
it?
they wrote it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Zombieland was such a great movie.
Yeah.
And it's being turned into a TV series. They're shooting a pilot.
Oh,
Good for them.
But they came up with the idea, and Spike bought it. We were actually... TNN bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was still the Nashville network.
Before Spike,
then,
yeah.
And then we shot it, and our show was like the first show that took it to Spike. Because there was a big controversy at the time. Spike Lee was suing them for changing their name. It's ridiculous.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
That's
he owns
crazy.
the name Spike.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It's
crazy.
ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure Spike Jones's family
Yeah.
we're not happy with that either. So that's how it all started. This time around, the guys at Zoo Productions pitched the Full Bounty to Spike as a real show. They wanted to do a real
Really?
show where
Shut up!
where
That would've been-
real people go out and try to
For the
hunt
bounty
down.
hunt.
Yeah, because they're in certain
Wow.
states you don't need a license. Anybody can do it. So that's where they were going to focus it. And Spike bought that show as a real show. And then
This was Full Bounty. Was it called Full Bounty?
It wasn't called Full Bounty. I
Oh,
think
okay.
we made that up. I don't remember what it was called. And then they called me and they're like, "Hey, we think this could be a good time to bring back the Schmo. Are you in?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I'm in. This will be great." And then they let the zoo people know. They're like, "You know that show you sold? You didn't really sell it. We're going to do a show, but it's not the show you think it is." And they were thrilled because they were fans of the show too.
So they were happy with it?
Yeah, they were thrilled because they a chance to do this. They jumped at the chance.
They were
loving
great.
it.
They were
great. I
It was
have no
fantastic.
complaints with them.
Yeah.
They were fantastic. They're really smart guys. They've done some comedy in the past. So and they they didn't get in the way of anything. They were great. So hopefully that answers your question, Jen.
Nice.
And by the way, if you guys want to call in, our number here is 818-850-7746. You can call in anytime. It should show up on your screen if you're watching right now. Some people walk away and just listen. What?
Oh no, I just have more. I just have more questions.
Well, go.
Questions.
Deep Hope, let me get this.
Yeah.
Deep Hope 92 has a question that I'm not going to say the question, Deep Hope, but yes, I would say Stone Cold 10. You are correct. And I don't know if anyone else will follow suit.
What?
I don't get it.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it. I don't want to tweet what his question
Or
is.
follow Deep Hope 92.
Yeah, or you can follow
See
Deep
that.
Hope 92 and see the question. Brandon at Brandon 954 at Brandon or Brandum 9. You know who you are,
It
Brandon.
doesn't matter.
And this is a good question. I get this a lot, and a lot of people didn't realize this. How do you guys decide who got which spirit animal? They're all related.
Why wasn't Lorenzo Lamas the llama?
Yeah.
Well,
no, Chase is the llama.
I know, but why wasn't
They're
he?
all related to their characters. If you think about it, like
The duck.
the duck is you have an Asian duck.
Peking duck, is that right?
Skylar was a chameleon because she changes. You know, Randy's a
right.
jackass. Who else had-
Alan was the dog because he's
Yeah,
the
man's
best
best
friend.
friend.
All right.
What's
Chico was the scorpion.
It's a little
He was
dangerous.
dangerous.
Spicy. He's a spicy Latino.
Yeah.
Joe was the bee. Why was Joe the bee?
Bees are deaf.
Carly is the
Are
bee. 'cause
they
it's deaf.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it
bees.
was so funny how Lorenzo was like, he told what his already was. And so I was like, but he doesn't get a llama? I was like, come on.
Well,
this would be amazing.
llamas are one of the most trusting animals in the animal kingdom. I did all this research, so he was.
A little fact about Carly's bee: it was always dead.
Was it?
She went up
We
to
didn't
it.
mean for it to be.
She, oh, I know. Peter's coming
that's
after her next,
really
but they always like
funny.
went up to it and it was always like either dead or missing. Like it would always
Yeah.
like they never
Or
had like
missing.
or
That's
missing.
what bees do. They either die or they just
I know
fly
it's
away.
so sad. It's happening all the time now.
It's
Yeah.
funny. Before you are a duck, you were a hippo.
Yes,
Oh,
they're
that's
the
so funny.
scariest
But you couldn't get an
animals.
hippo.
Yeah, but then they were like they're the
Never.
most dangerous
Yeah,
animals
there's
in
no way.
the world. You
Yeah,
can't
in
do
the whole
that.
world.
Yeah.
Everyone would be
You can't do that.
A hippo.
And then Chelsea was the beaver.
Yeah,
because
the
of her
beaver
shots.
makes sense.
Which
That,
was
that duck
really
was perfect
funny.
though, because that duck hated me.
Yeah, it was not
Because
a
of the
fan.
pictures, she was the beaver.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
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 And Lavernius was the flamingo. That
There you
flamingo
go.
hated Lavernius at the end there. Remember that? If you see him getting voted off, the flamingo does this thing, almost like pecks his
yeah?
face off.
I actually want to say something, and we've never talked about this in here.
What?
One of the funniest parts of the show to me, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, is you always show that goddamn puppet.
Mr. Wentworth. Yeah, I know.
So
Last
good.
week he was in a
The
window
I
and then
know,
like
I
sunk
love it.
down like he was
There's one
spying
shot.
on you.
There's a couple shots of you see a little puppet hand grabbing a gun, like in the quick montage.
I know,
it's like a little
I've
puppet grabbing a
seen-
gun, and it's like, oh Jesus.
I love the Mr. Wentworth.
I just
in
love
there.
that there was like a B team out there filming as much Mr. Wentworth shit as possible.
There are pictures.
That's
like,
hilarious.
I wish we had filmed it, but there are pictures of Mr. Wentworth running a camera. Like why we didn't film like
Ridiculous.
I found it after the fact. Like why
during
we
the
didn't-
elimination,
You know what
like
you-
the back of his head. Yeah.
I don't know if it's too late to do this, but you know how at the end of The Hangover, how they always have those pictures?
Yeah.
You should have a million pictures of
that's
Mr.
fair.
Wentworth while the credits are going up. Him bearing like a hooker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pooping in the urn,
Hysterical.
taking a dump in the urn.
So great.
Yeah, he's the one who's
She's
shitting
the
the
one who's
urn.
shit in the urn.
Oh,
Hilarious.
Yeah,
That could be
really
really funny.
That would be
I had a
hilarious.
weird part of me. There was a part of me because playing these characters, we were so in characters constantly that it was
Right.
kind of a little bit of identity crisis at one point. And there was a part of me that fucking hates Mr. Wentworth because Carly treated him with such respect and loved him so much, and she treated Sam like such shit that part of me is like, that fucking doll. It'll always be there.
Now, as actors, when you guys were doing it, when you were in character, obviously, like all day, every day, did it get harder as time went on, or did it get easier as time went on?
I would say it got, well, a little 6 of one, half of the other, because it got easier in that you'd been playing this character for a while, so it was more like a coat that you could just throw on. But there were less of us there as the days went on, so you were more in the spotlight. So it was easier to play the characters, but that playing the characters had to be more. You had to be more on. You had to be sharper. You couldn't let the ball drop at all because there's less of people to like hide behind. You know,
it's interesting on a lot of reality shows, like how they gave her thing with her mom. Like, you get to talk to your mom. That's your prize.
Yeah.
They do that a lot. And people, when you watch these, you go, but they've only been in there for like 7 days. 7 days is a long time in a house with a bunch of people. Now, luckily, didn't you guys you were able to make a call a day or something like that?
At nighttime, we would go to our camp.
Away from him, but he wasn't able to. No. And you got to call your beautiful wife who's sitting in the back if any of the cameras are showing her.
Yeah, that was a saving grace. And that, I don't know for sure. I mean, I probably would have been able to do the show, but it was really hard to, like, it was nice to go there at the end of the night and check our emails because we're still actors that are working. We have business beyond this. But then beyond that, it was to get on the phone with the wife and say, how are you? I miss you. I hope everything's okay. And that was it really helped because we couldn't have our phones on us. They were in a safe at base camp.
I called your wife a lot while you were in the show just to make her.
He brought her cookies every
let
night.
her know that we're thinking of her.
I fucking hate you.
This is awkward.
I won't show you the text. Fred Staverink just wants to give a big shout out to Nikki.
Hey, hi Fred. It's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Aww.
Great.
So, real quick, I have a question. The final show. Now, I know Chase lives in Pennsylvania, and I'm sure he's not flying out here for the final show. But Chase is listening. Can he be a caller on after that show's aired, so the following week or whatever?
I think we can probably arrange that.
Oh
I
my
hope.
God!
I mean, he's legally allowed to talk after that, right?
Yeah. Whether he wants to or not is another thing. All I'm gonna say is watch this finale.
Oh my God!
I can't. I don't. Don't give away one thing.
But there's been a lot of cool down time, so hopefully.
Wow! What is going on here?
Oh my God!
That's the line that every guy says. Even Chase said it. What is going on here?
Well, we kill a hooker and then hide the body.
Exactly. Exactly. And speaking, you said that's the line that somebody always says. Nikki actually had the one line that been in every season.
Did you know it on purpose, or?
Yeah, we told her.
Yeah.
What is that?
You want to deliver it?
Fuck this cocksucking show!
That's hilarious, and that's how you got off, right? And then you kicked over the trophy case. Yeah,
that's how we all got off.
It's been and
I will say, I have to say, I really respect actors who have a good range. I think any actor can play themselves and has a good run, but actors that have that good range and can play different characters. I just have such great respect for them. And Nikki is the sweetest girl, one of the sweetest girls I know, but she plays such a raging fucking asshole in the show. That, right? It's just
uptight,
it's amazing.
Anal.
Yeah, it's great.
And she's completely the other side of that. So she did such an amazing job in the whole run of her show that it was just such a great thing.
Can I point out one funny flaw, and it's just as an actor. Yes. And it happened when you were being called out on all the doctor stuff. It happened this week when you guys realized Chase was not quite reacting well to the husband on the screen. Yeah. It happens every time when she spoke. What's the deaf girl's name?
Carly.
Yeah,
Joe's the actress. Yeah.
Carly, when she reacted to him, every single time, the entire cast gets silent, completely silent, like they're all going through their head, now what do I do? What do I... Like when that pop of the champagne cork happened and Carly reacted, the whole table was like...
Yeah. And I will say this.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is. And some of that, we edited it for dramatic reason. Like, it wasn't as...
That maybe happened for 3 seconds, but you make it look over and over.
Instead of, we show everyone's reaction to it, when it could have happened in 2 seconds, where you wouldn't get to see everyone's reaction if we.
But you
it
drag it
time,
out to 30 seconds, and the music comes in.
Well, there's 100,000 places in the show where the show goes off the tracks, and we knew that was going to happen. But those are the moments that it not only goes off the tracks, but runs into a school full of blind children and blows up a town. Those moments where oh,
well, the best thing to do is also to freeze a little, and
right.
assess the situation. I am making fun of it, but it's really smart.
Yeah,
you have to be, if you try to react,
right? Yeah. Because if he's, we have to gauge kind of where he's at so that we can
respond to it. Yeah, and that's what they told us. The producers told us. I think not long after we'd started the show was, if you're talking to Chase and you want a reaction, just don't talk. And there's a lot of places where we talk and we just sit there and we just wait, and we don't. Normally the conversation you feel like, oh, I gotta add more, I gotta more. Here's a bomb. And just stare at Chase and just see how he reacts. And eventually he'd be the one to break the silence.
Yeah, because he came into his strategy coming into it was to lay low, be the guy under the radar.
Yeah,
which is bad for us. It's really bad for us.
Yeah. And you guys had to and the producers had to, the interview producers had to basically tell him, hey, you got to step it up, right?
Well, we went and saw him, and it was hey, dude, I just want you to know, I don't, it's a game, so I can't. You've got to play your game. I don't want to tell you how to do that, but
screen time and
if you want screen time, get involved a little bit. But it's your game. So we gave it we couldn't tell him what to do,
right?
Because again, it's not what we do, but it's also not cool for if it's a game show. If he's thinking, I'm on a game show and they're telling me what to do, that's not fair.
Right.
We don't want that.
Right.
But we would plant little seeds if you want to get more screen time in case you don't win and you want people to talk about it,
hilarious.
So
we're told we have to wrap up, and what happens is in 1 minute we automatically go off of Ustream where there's thousands and thousands, and we can still talk for a minute afterwards because this is also for iTunes.
But what if I wanted to download this episode?
Where they go to Ustream, or they can go, if you just want to listen to it, go to iTunes and subscribe to Stimulus Package After Dark. We have 2 different shows. This one is Stimulus Package, and it has 7 more weeks of Joe Schmo stuff. And tomorrow night, before this timer runs out, watch every Tuesday, 10 o'clock, Spike TV. And please give your Twitters and anything else you guys want to promote.
I am at J Holland Moore, and I will be live tweeting both feeds of the show and answering your questions and all the behind the scenes stuff. So follow me.
Both feeds, which basically means go fuck yourself Central Time.
Well,
they
get the Eastern Time.
Yeah,
though.
I'm at Fred Cross, and pretty much the same thing. I've been live tweeting both feeds the last couple weeks too.
Nikita Banana 17, and just to plug Joe Newman, Carly, and Megan Falcone. Skylar, we're doing a show for all you LA people next Thursday at the Improv.
Oh,
the Improv?
Tell us about what the show is. It sounds
it's about
awesome.
Vaginas. It's the vagina monologues that didn't make it into the vagina monologue.
Hilarious.
There's no way I'm missing
more about that. Yeah, you want to hear more about that.
So check it out. That's
at the
Improv
on Melrose.
And you can buy tickets online. Go to theimprov.com and you can buy tickets online.
That sounds amazing.
You guys, thank you so much for coming back.
Really,
We're
thank you
huge
so
fans.
much.
Thank you, guys.
I hope that you guys have the biggest careers ever.
Me
really,
too.
you deserve it.
Thanks, guys. Right back at you.
You guys too.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you know what?
Mr. John Moore, as always, thank you very much.
Oh, anytime. Thank you very much for having us.
And I do want to say, you guys, I don't know what we're going to do. I apologize. You might be listening to us on Mondays. You might be listening Tuesdays.
We'll figure it out.
You'll find out next Monday when you tune in. All right. We'll see you. You'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Hey guys, this is Danny Trejo, and when I'm in Huntington Beach, I go to my favorite restaurant, the second floor. The second floor has my favorite food, and man, you have to see their colossal burgers. You need a damn machete just to cut them. And they were just voted the best fusion art restaurant. Tattoo art from some of the biggest names like Jack Rudy and Rick Walters. Every Thursday night, art shows featuring legends to local artists come in, and you can meet them in person. You can buy the art right off the walls, and all sales go right to the artist. After 10 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, well-known DJs spinning an eclectic mix of music, and you gotta check out their late night menu. Go visit them on the web, check out their great menu, upcoming art shows, and your favorite DJs. Located at 126 Main Street, downtown Huntington Beach. Second floor. I'll see you there.
Yo, this motherfucking iced tea. That's right. I'm standing here with my girl Coco. And there's one thing we like to do when we're chilling at Universal City Walk. We go listen to Frazier Smith on The Interview. That's on the GoCast Network, motherfuckers. Too bad you can't see Coco, because she's naked right now.